Alrighty, in order to do my Yu-Gi-Oh video I want to do, I need to take a look. Let's see. First of all, let's look at the Forbidden list. Okay. Nothing too crazy here. Nothing that's going to make anyone too crazy. Alright, how about we check out the Limited list? Alright, and wait, Exodia? Exodia is limited to 1? Alrighty. Okay. Snake Eyes, Ash, and Poplar. I will be looking at these cards later in this video, but I'm quite curious. Alright. Let's take a look at the Semi-Limited. Okay. No more Snake Eyes monsters. So, now we got a video. Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is The Geekiness, and I'm here today to talk about some Yu-Gi-Oh! And not just any kind of Yu-Gi-Oh! We're going to be talking about Meta Yu-Gi-Oh! The top deck of 2024, and I think 2023 as well, Snake Eyes. And we're going to be talking about, are these cards, I'm going to be looking at these cards. I have no idea what a single Snake Eyes card does. I know it's a top deck, but I've never seen a single card. I own none of the cards. And that's mostly because I am a Elemental Hero and a Blue Eyes player. So, honestly, I have no idea what Snake Eyes does. I don't know how it works. I have a few Link monsters, but I really don't have anything I use those for. I don't even have any in my Hero deck because I just have more better fusions to do with that. I'm sure someone's going to tell me, oh, extra heroes are great for your Hero deck. I'm not really here today to talk about that. Today we're going to be looking at actually what the Snake Eyes looking at Snake Eyes cards, figuring out what they do, and if I think the limited for 2 of these is enough to really balance the deck. In order to make this video better, I did have to take a look at some pre-built Snake Eyes decks, and I'm going to say this. Most of these Snake Eyes decks are already only running 1 copy of each Snake Eyes card anyways. So maybe this limited thing's not as great as Konami's hoping for. But alrighty, we're going to take a look at our first card now. Alrighty, our first card to take an examination of is Snake Eye Ash. Fire attribute, 1 star. Pyro effect, very weak attack, 800 and 1000 defense, so not too powerful, but what's the effect? If this card is normal or specially summoned, you can add 1 level 1 fire monster from your deck to your hand. You can send 2 face-up cards you control to your graveyard, including this card. Specially summon 1 Snake Eyes monster from your hand or deck, except for Snake Eyes Ash. You can only use each effect of Snake Eye Ash once per turn. So right away I'm reading this, and very obvious, this is a way to get more Snake Eyes into your hand. Also, it seems like if you have a bunch of maybe not Snake Eyes monsters, you could throw them in and out. So this is pretty good. I can see why it's limited to 1. But let's see, normal or specially summoned? So if you could get this specially summoned on top of already having a Snake Eyes monster who brought this to the field, that's pretty good. I can kind of understand why this is limited to 1. Alrighty, our next card is Snake Eye Oak. Same attribute and 1 star again. And our attack is 900 and 200 defense. So obviously you're not putting these things to be on the field for attacking or defending, really. Let's see. The effect, yet again, is if this card is normal or special summon, you can target one of your level 1 monsters that is banished or in the graveyard. Either add it to your hand or specially summon it. Right away I'm reading this and I can see that if you would use Snake Eyes Ash effect, you could mill, like, one of those cards you milled off the field, you could bring it back right away right here. You can send 2 face-up cards you control in your graveyard, including this card. Wait, you can send 2? Oh, so you can send it, you can automatically use this effect to take this card. Ooh, okay. Specially summon 1 Snake Eye monster from your hand or deck, except for Snake Eye Oak. Right, again, you could even bring out your Snake Eye Ash or any other Snake Eye monster in the deck. And you can only use the effect of Snake Eye Oak once per turn. So right away, I'm reading this and can see how these two cards work together, but I'm not seeing the big strategy yet. I understand a lot of new Yu-Gi-Oh! Is working with your extra deck. Link monsters, Xyz, and, fusions and all that. So I can see where it's going, but maybe I don't fully understand quite yet. Alrighty, and now we're on to card number 3, and this is the second card that was limited to 1. So let's take a look. We're yet again, fire, 1 star, attack and defense aren't anything to write home about, so let's look at the effect, because apparently that's where Snake Eyes cards really thrive. Okay, if this card is added to your hand, except by drawing it, which there's a lot of effects already we can see to do that, you can specially summon this card. So right away, that's a free special summon. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 Snake Eyes spells or trap from your deck to your hand. Mind you, I did look. I don't see a lot of people using traps, so obviously you're going to use this for a spell card. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 fire monster in your graveyard and place it face up in your owner's spells or trap zones as a continuous spell. Right away, I can tell it's very reminiscent of Crystal Beast. If anyone doesn't remember, Crystal Beast had similar effects. You can just put them on your spell and trap zone to keep them from being destroyed, aka Rainbow Dragon and all that fun stuff. So, okay. And you can only use the effect of Snake Eye Poplar once per turn. So, looking into it, I can tell right away. You could use Oak and Ash to kind of help get this card to your hand. It's a free special summon. And right away, you can, link summon off this, or just use it to pop a few things onto the field. So right away, I can see a lot of fun little stuff here. So I'm starting to get the bigger picture. Snake Eyes are just there to get more Snake Eyes on the field and flood everything. And mind you, a lot of these are saying about just a level 1 fire type cards or on all that. So you could have a lot of weak little non-Snake Eyes fire monsters in a deck and get a lot of fun little strategies off. So I'm starting to see the bigger picture now. Alrighty, our next card is Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon. Alright, so here we finally have an 8-star, 3000 attack, 2500. So basically Blue Eyes power level. But let's take a look at our effect. You can target 1 face-up monster on the field or in either graveyard. Place it face-up on its owner's field or trap zone and continue a spell. During your opponent's turn, you can target 1 monster, treat it as a continuous spell on the field, and specially summon it. Okay, so that could work with the other cards already seen here below. And if this card is sent from the hand or the field to the graveyard, you can specially summon 2 level 1 fire monsters from your graveyard. And you can use the effect only once per turn, so that makes a lot of sense. Now, one thing I notice is there's nothing here saying you have to tribute this monster. So right away, we can kind of take a look and see that this dragon card can just come to the field for free thanks to the help of the other 3 monsters here. This is a very scary card. I am curious why this one isn't limited. Who knows? I'm scared. This is crazy, guys. Alrighty, and our 5th and final monster card for this is Snake Eyes Dia Bellstar? Yet again, another 8-star attack, 2800, and defense, 2600. Let's take a look at this effect. When an attack is declared involving this card and an opponent's monster, you can place this card from the field and that opponent's monsters face up in the owner's spell and trap zone as continuous spells. So right away, if your opponent doesn't have a way to counteract this, your opponent could just lose their monster to their spell and trap zone. Let's see. While this card is a continuous spell, you can target 1 fire monster in your graveyard, except for this card. Place it face up in its owner's spells and trap zone as a continuous spell. And if you do, specially summon this card. You can only use this effect once per turn. So you could bring this out, mill a card from your graveyard, and also basically remove your own opponent's monster that they're defending against you with. That's pretty good. So in conclusion, with these 5 monsters I've looked at, you can right away see there's a lot of bringing themselves, shutting down your opponent, and having a lot of chance to bring out stuff to basically link, synchro, Zexal, whatever you're going to do with this deck. You're going to have a lot of material. So let's take a look at the spell cards. Alrighty, our first spell card is called Original Sinful Spoil, Snake Eyes. Send one other face-up card you control to the graveyard to specially summon one level 1 fire monster from your hand or deck. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Snake Eye or Diabelastar monster in your graveyard. Add one level 1 fire monster from your deck to your hand, then place the target monster on the bottom of the deck, and you can use one Original Sinful Spoil Snake Eye effect once per turn. So, pretty much right away, you can take, this is a lot of the whole, you get one of these cards, and if one of your more powerful, let's say the big boy, Flambridge Dragon, or hell, even the other one, Diabelastar, if they would be destroyed, being able to not just put them back in your deck, and yeah, they're at the bottom, but thanks to all the other Snake Eyes monsters, you're gonna pretty much get that card back anyways. More material, more Xyz, more limit, link summoning, pretty powerful. Alrighty, card number 2 is Wanted, Seeker of Sinful Spoils. Add one Diabelastar monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, and during the main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your Sinful Spoils / spells or trap cards that is banished or in your graveyard except for Wanted, Seeker, Sinful Spoils, place it on the bottom of your deck, then draw one card, and you can only use this effect of once per turn. Alrighty, so yet again, this is just getting the shuffle back a lot of your Sinful Spoil support cards. And also, let's suspect this. Obviously, Diabelastar, it must be another archetype that's closely related to the Snake Eye, considering that one of our Snake Eye monsters is a Snake Eyes and a Diabelastar. So right away, you get a Diabelastar, plus you can also eventually mill in back a Sinful Spoils card. So, I like it. Alrighty, our third spell to take a look at is called Sinful Spoils of Subversion, Snake Eyes. You can target one face-up monster on the field, place it face-up in the owner's spell and trap zone as a continuous spell, and you can only activate one Sinful Spoil of Subversion once per turn. So this one's not as crazy, but also I think what people don't realize, you can also do this to your opponent monster and you can shut them down. So I like that. But also at the same time, this is obviously just being used to essentially help you fuel some of the other effect monsters for the Snake Eyes archetype. So, not as crazy. Don't have as much to say about this one, but I get it. So, our next card is called the Hallowed Azamina. Reveal one Reveal one Azamina fusion monster in your extra deck, and for every 4 levels it has, round down, send one Sinful Spoil card from your hand or field to the graveyard, and if face down, reveal it. Then specially summon that revealed monster that is treated as a fusion summon. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target one Azima monster you control or in the graveyard, shuffle it into your deck. And if you do, add this card to your hand. You can only do this effect once per turn. I'll admit this is probably the one that does not fit this archetype the most. And I'll add that I mostly only looked at this because it was in 2 of the 4 decks that I took a look at. So I gotta say this is kind of L on my part, especially on the pronunciation part. Alrighty, the final card that we're going to take a look at is the field spelled for the archetype, Divine Temple of the Snake Eye. When this card is activated, you can place one Snake Eye monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up and put in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. Level 1-5 monsters you control gain 1100 attack. Okay, so all these weak monsters get some boosted attack stats. Once per turn, if your opponent normal or special summons a monster, except for during damage calculation or step, you can target one monster card. You can target one monster card on the field, treat it as a continuous spell, and specially summon it to your field. And you can activate this effect once per turn. So a good thing about this is basically you can always be bringing stuff to the field, even during your opponent's turn. And this could be a way to not just protect your life points, but also could be a way to just bring this out to bring out more Link monsters and all kinds of fun stuff. So I really do like this. But let's break it down and talk about why this deck's broken. Alrighty, so let's talk about this. Snake Eyes is broken. You've heard about it on every YouTube channel who's complained about the current metagame of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not a good look, fellas, and I don't think Konami can exactly fix this. How this works is you have a deck build of Snake Eyes, a lot of little fire support. You at the same time have a lot of links that can work together very well. A good example is LP Little Knight. And then of course you have shutdown cards. For example, Ash Blossom and Effect Veiler are two great hand traps that can pretty much shut down an opponent very quickly and basically can just make the game unfun or not even give your opponent a chance to play the game. On top of that, I don't think Konami can put this genie back in the bottle. A big issue is they have one of two choices. One, you ban every single Snake Eye monster, basically making the entire archetype unplayable and making a lot of players mad, or you do the next worst step. You develop a completely new deck to go against the Snake Eyes archetype, and make your game yet again have the same issue with Snake Eyes. Or you do the third option, which we saw when Link Summoning came out. You completely make something new, you change a base roll of the game, and you completely break how the Snake Eyes cards can work. You could do this, you could make a new master roll, but yet again, much like when Link Summoning was first brought out, a lot of players left the game, and a lot of players just refused to learn. So, I'm going to say Konami is in a very bad spot. Do I think Snake Eyes is fun? I think it's fun to see how it can destroy players, but I don't think it looks very fun to play. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching my analysis of the Snake Eyes cards. And if you guys want anything like this, please let me know. And while you're at it, if you want to see more of these kind of videos, hit the subscribe button and leave me a like. And I hope to catch everyone back here in the next video. Geek out.